Good morning, everyone. A very good morning from Iceland, a country I've never been to before, but I wanted to share what it's like because, yeah, I've never been here before, and I thought it'd be cool to kind of share my experience while I'm being here. I'm also joined by my good friend Kristen.
Oh, hi.
We just headed up to the church there, and the names I'm gonna completely butcher, so I'm gonna try to pronounce it. But what's cool about it though is it offers a wonderful view of basically the entire city of Reykjavik, and yeah, it was amazing. It was just such a beautiful view, and it's late October, so it's kind of like golden hour-ish the entire day, which is kind of nice for a photographer, but also just, yeah, good light and good views from up there. And today's our first day here. We flew in this morning, and for now we're just gonna walk around town, explore the town, and then the next coming days planning on driving to a couple of other towns and seeing waterfalls and doing hikes and all of the good stuff. So I'm gonna share what I can with you and do my best because I like watching these things later on. It's fun. Reykjavik offered us a very warm welcome to Iceland. We spent the majority of our first day sightseeing around the city and taking it all in. But I was really looking forward to day number 2, where we finally get to see what Iceland is known for, and that is its natural beauty. I'd like to welcome everyone to Pingvellir National Park. It is a place of both historical and geological importance. Historically, this is where the ancient Icelanders created laws. This is where they held essentially their parliament. They made laws, they figured out all the issues going on with the island. And geologically, this is where the North American and the European tectonic plates meet, which creates some of the most interesting landscapes that I have ever seen. We are continuing our walk through Pingvellir National Park, and this place is beautiful, and there's canyons pretty much everywhere. And we're just gonna head back on kind of like a bottom loop and loop back to our car. And I keep telling Kristen this, that it kind of reminds me of a lot of like Yellowstone, because you can kind of see like geysers or hot springs, steam rising in the distance, and everything kind of just brown at the end in the fall here. So kind of reminds me a lot of that. But so far this place is just absolutely incredible.
Hi, my name is Kristen, and I am here to take over Gleb's videos for the moment. Say hi, Gleb.
Okay, give me that back.
Say Kristen is the genius
it's my
here.
Video.
Woo! Look at this. This is beautiful. Beautiful. Me as well.
After spending some time in Pingvellir, we decided to move on to our next destination, which was supposed to be a geyser, but it didn't really go off, so I'll just skip forward to the much cooler destination, which is one of the largest waterfalls in Iceland, Gullfoss. ring road, this has been my favorite place because look at this. It is breathtaking, and this waterfall is very loud, so I hope you can actually hear me. If not, subtitles will go here. But this is beautiful, and it's very slippery here, so I gotta be a little careful. But it's right off the road, super easy to get to, which is nice. And yeah, I mean, this much beauty right here. Yeah, I'm loving this so far. We are moving on to our next destination, which is another waterfall, but Glacier Falls, Foss? Gullfoss right here was amazing. I don't know what else to say. It was just beautiful. Got a lot of good pictures, I hope. And it's a bit of a gloomy day, as you can see, so we're hoping for some kind of, at least I am hoping for some kind of break in the clouds later on so I can see some northern lights potentially, but it doesn't look too promising now. Anyways, on to our next destination.
Hi, sheep. Oh, no, there's horses now.
And we are at a waterfall called Faxi. I'm probably not saying any of these names right, to be honest. But we're here. It's like a small little parking lot, and there's nobody else here, which is amazing and always welcome. But yeah, we're almost done with our little golden circle tour. We basically just have this one other spot, and then we're going back to Reykjavik, where we will stay for a couple more nights before heading to the east side of the island. So anyways, so far so good. Okay, this waterfall was absolutely amazing. I'm probably just gonna say that about everything here, but what I really like is the fact that there were no crowds, which means I could kind of move around a bit more. I could walk down to the water closer and to get kind of a cooler shot, which I really liked. So it's always nice finding places like that don't have a lot of people in them, because it gives you a lot more room to take some pictures and take your time, because you don't have to feel like you're, you know, waiting for anyone or people are waiting for you to get out of the way. So good call, Kristen. That was a nice spot. Yeah, she's a good travel partner. And our final stop, we have reached our final stop on the ring. Oh my god, what is it called? Golden Circle. We reached our last stop on the Golden Circle, and it is the Carrad Crater. As you can see, we're running low on daylight. Well, we're pretty much out of daylight, so this is the best. This is the best I can get. And days don't last long out here in October, but that's okay, because we still get to see a whole lot of the island, or at least this part of the island around Reykjavik, which is, I mean, it's gorgeous. And this is a nice little stop. It's a really cool little lake at the bottom of the crater. What I really love though is, even though the sun has set, you can still kind of, it's still light enough to see a fairly good distance, and you see these silhouettes of different hills and mountains in the distance, and it just looks really cool. It looks mystical, whatever the right term to use there is. And yeah, I love it. Also, we passed a few small towns, and I love little towns, and it always makes me wonder, what do people do there? Why did they choose to live there? And yeah, it's a cool country. I'm very happy to be here. And sorry it's out of focus. I don't know what's going on. Good morning. Day 2, I think. Yeah, second full day in Iceland, and we're hiking to a volcano. We're not doing the very long hike, but just the one where you can see like the lava fields and stuff kind of from above, because the hike directly to the volcano, I hope you can hear this because it's very windy, is fairly long and we just don't have the time to fit it in today, but I'm hoping to at least see it from a distance. But it is a very cold and brisk morning. It's very windy and a little misty, so we are all bundled up, but hopefully once we get moving for a little bit, we'll start to warm up here. Whew. All right, and just look at this landscape. It is absolutely amazing and way different than what we saw yesterday driving around. So yeah, so that's the plan for now. Just look at this view. You can see the lava field right over there. Wow, this is amazing. Okay. Oh, this kind of sucks. The one time I want to see a volcano, and it's foggy and it's very windy, and I'm not sure how it's going to look up at the top of the viewpoint, which I think is that much further. So, what a bummer. There's like a slight little break in the wind and it picks back up again, but it doesn't look like I'm going to be able to see what I wanted to see because it's just fog everywhere. We got to the viewpoint that was marked on the map, but yeah, I don't even know if you can hear this, to be honest, but it's just so windy and cloudy. And the hike to the actual volcano is like a good half a day hike, and we just don't have time for that. So I was hoping to see something from up here, but that's not gonna happen. Holy shit! It is absolutely windy here. Oh my god. Oh, a moment of calm. I went down a little further and it was just absolutely super windy down there. Half my face is frozen, it feels like. So I couldn't see anything. We decided to go back and walk down to that lava field where we saw it just at the start of the hike, to at least see something somewhat interesting other than a foggy cloud, and slowly make our way back, because after this we're going to the Blue Lagoon. And I think it's very fitting going from a cold, windy top of a mountain to a nice warm lagoon. And I cannot be more excited to see that, or just to relax and be there. Okay, so plan B is to go down there because that's the actual lava field. You can even see the smoke rising up from it. I just kind of walk up close to it because couldn't see the actual volcano, so we'll see the best we can. But it started to clear up a little bit, and the view behind me is pretty amazing. You can see the ocean just faintly out there in the distance, and yeah, it's pretty cool. This is a really cool experience. I have never walked on lava before, even though we didn't get to see the volcano from the top, and as you can see now, it's clearing out. Of course, it would be right after we get back close to the parking lot, but this is the next best thing, because we're walking on lava. There's plenty of signs saying not to, but everyone's doing it, so we did it as well, and it is quite an experience. This is something else. I don't think I'll never do this again, but this is awesome.
Windy. Hi.
After some time of hopping around on the lava field, it was time for us to head to Blue Lagoon. I didn't film much after this point because I really wanted to just relax at the Blue Lagoon and enjoy it. But do take my word for it. It is a wonderful place to be. The water is hot and it feels good on your skin, and there's plenty of saunas for you to sit in. It's just a really good experience. A very good morning to everyone. It is our third day on Iceland, and today the plan is, so we left Reykjavik this morning and we are driving towards the town of Vik, which is kind of a good spot to see a lot of like the big attractions in Iceland that are away from Reykjavik. So plenty of waterfalls between Reykjavik and there, and we're gonna stop at the black sand beaches, lots of different kind of smaller areas that are all within that town or around that town. So it's a good, I think it'll be a good little place to, it's a good little base camp type deal, so you can go around and see all the places without having to, you know, drive out of town super far. So right now we just stopped in Svartifoss, grabbed some baked goods at a little bakery. It's a cute little town. I absolutely love passing through little towns like this because, I don't know, they just have their own unique character compared to the capital. Like this is where you kind of see like more of the real country, although this is how small Iceland is. I feel like Reykjavik's pretty real too. So, but yeah, so we're gonna keep driving. Yesterday we had a wonderful day, especially after the Blue Lagoon was awesome. And after that we just kind of drove around, took the long way back to Reykjavik and did just a bit of random sightseeing. But for now, for today, more nature, more Icelandic nature, so I'm really excited.
Buddy! Oh my gosh, hi! Oh, you are
Hold on, I'm gonna go get my big camera because this is too cool.
Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Hi. Hi, buddy. Oh, do you have apples?
Oh my god, they're so cute.
You are so cute.
Is the waterfall of Svartifoss. I think I said that close to right. I don't know, but it was one of the most famous waterfalls around here, or on this side of Iceland, and it's the one you've probably seen on Instagram plenty of times, and a whole lot of other places, or every travel vlog on YouTube. And I'm just here to add more to it, basically. Since we're here in the off season, it doesn't seem to be as crowded as what I've seen it be like online, which is kind of nice. So that means we can have a little bit more time and a little less crowds, so we can just, you know, enjoy the view and not have to fight for it. So far, this has probably been my favorite thing that we've seen here. It is really cold and wet though, so I can imagine this is a bit of a better experience in the summer, but if you have the right gear, then you should be fine. Just be prepared to be cold and wet. And if you have a camera, protect it. Okay, we walked around the waterfall, went to another waterfall, walked through a cave, and I am not anymore, but I was soaking wet there for a second. That was awesome and cold and wet, but going through that cave and seeing that waterfall inside was... After spending close to a couple of hours walking around the waterfalls, we decided it was a good moment to sit down, have a break, dry off, warm up before heading towards our next destination, which you probably guessed is another waterfall. And this one probably was my favorite and by far, in my opinion, the most epic waterfall that we got to see on the entire island. It was the waterfall called Svartifoss. That's incredible.
Oh, hello. Welcome to another waterfall.
next step is to walk up this hill to the top of the waterfall. Check out the view from up there. Whew. Still very cold, very wet. Not quite, a little bit more manageable than the other waterfall, but yeah. And it's maybe like 30 minutes out from sunset, so you feel the temperature is much colder now, especially if you're wet. So didn't linger around there too long, but it sure is tempting to just sit there and watch that waterfall because it's just so beautiful. Okay, I'm gonna run out of breath here in a minute, so I'll resume filming back up at the top. Survived going up the stairs, and I'm gonna enjoy this nice view. Look at that. That's pretty. And it looks like there's a hiking trail right there that follows along the canyon or the river, so I think we're going that way. Maybe we are. This is pretty though, very pretty. We lingered at the top a little bit longer, but then decided that it was probably a good time to head back down and head towards Vik. The day was coming to an end, the sun was setting down, the temperature was getting colder, and we were still pretty wet and tired from exploring all the waterfalls earlier in the day. But this was an epic adventure, one that I will remember always, and probably one of the most epic days we've had on the trip. Our fourth day started with a visit to the Black Sands beach, where we were greeted to a very, very windy morning, and that wind ended up changing the rest of our day. The winds and the rain were very strong this day, and that forced us to change some of our plans. Kristen originally planned on going horseback riding on the Black Sands beach. It was one of her goals and one of her dreams of something to do in Iceland, but unfortunately that got cancelled. And I had a ice caves tour planned. An ice cave tour where I go through a glacier and walk inside of a glacier. So there was still room available and Kristen decided to join me. This tour had us riding about 45 minutes to an hour outside of Vik in a lifted Ford Econovan, riding on these giant tires, and it took us off-road towards the Katla volcano, which sits below the glacier where we were going to walk through these ice caves, and is basically in the middle of nowhere, on top of this flat plain. Just flat volcanic plain with a few mountains sticking out of the ground. It was a really cool ride. After a brief stop to take some pictures and take in this beautiful, unique landscape, we continued towards the glacier. Once we got there, we got a brief safety briefing, put on our crampons, and continued towards the ice caves. And I was mesmerized as soon as we got into the first one. This was an absolutely incredible experience. back in Vik, and that was an awesome experience. I kind of forgot to film myself talking to the camera while we were there because, I don't know, I was just too mesmerized, I guess. And also it started dying. But yeah, we're back in Vik now. We are just gonna do a couple of small things around town for a minute. And get to our next destination tomorrow. So, but going through those ice caves was, it's just, wow. It's just so cool. And it's crazy because he mentioned that they literally change, like within 24 hours it can look completely different because the ice is constantly melting, which is crazy. You look at some pictures of the ice caves on Instagram and you see ones that are like very narrow and you can barely like even touch the ceiling and the person barely fits in them, and those aren't there anymore. They're just gone. Now we have the ones that we saw today. So each year it's like a different experience, which is really cool. And also driving out to the ice caves on just the volcanic ash and seeing those mountains rise up in the distance covered in that green moss is just such a beautiful sight. Yeah, for the next little bit we're just gonna, you know, shop around, maybe pick up some souvenirs or some other random Icelandic goods, maybe some Icelandic booze. And there's a cute little church up on top of a hill that we wanted to check out and just see. It looks like they have one in every little town around here, which is interesting. And then after that, we got a little lava show to check out. So take it easy the rest of the day. It's gonna get dark soon. And yeah, that's about it. Good morning, everyone. This is day 5 in Iceland, and today we are driving to the town of Hof. It is further on the southeast side of the island, and stopping along paths, different sites along the way. There, we were off to a very cold and rainy morning, but now it's still cloudy, but it stopped raining and stopped being windy, most importantly, which is very nice. So right now we came to this canyon, the name of which I do not remember, and check out the sights here. You're going to see a lot more waterfalls again, and just keep on exploring. After spending the morning at the canyon, we continued to our next destination, which was the waterfall of Svartifoss. And the drive there offered us some beautiful views of the Svartifoss Glacier. This is the first sunny day we have here since Friday. So we made it to the Svartifoss waterfall. It's a short little hike from the parking lot, but it is another very famous waterfall here in Iceland, and probably one of the, just like the other ones from the other day, one of the biggest attractions in the country, and I'm really excited to see it. And a perfect sunny day to go along with it. And I'm really hoping that the clouds stay clear, or the sky stays clear, because I really want to see some northern lights. It's like one of my biggest goals in life is to see them. And it's basically been cloudy the entire time we were here, but hopefully today it will be clear throughout the night and maybe we'll get a chance to see some. And we're staying a fairly remote part of the island, so hopefully it wouldn't be like, I wouldn't have to drive very far to get rid of the light pollution and be able to see the night sky and hopefully the northern lights. So we'll see how it goes, but for now, waterfall time. It's warm enough, especially going up this hill to that waterfall, that I'm wearing a t-shirt. Something I haven't done since I got here. And yeah, I'm kind of surprised actually it's this warm, because considering how cold it was the last couple of days, I wasn't quite expecting it. But it does feel very, very nice in comparison to cold and windy days. And there's beautiful sunlight. All right, tomorrow is a great day. By the time we were done with the hike, the day quickly got away from us, so instead of continuing on with what we had planned before, we decided to simply drive around, and that's when we stumbled upon this beautiful view, right during sunset. I thought that sunset was going to be a perfect way to end the day. However, I was wrong, because later that night, we saw something even more incredible, and that was the Northern Lights. Day 6 in Iceland. No, day 7 in Iceland. Right now we're back at the canyon where I was last night because it got dark, so we decided not to do it. Now we're back this morning to check out this canyon here. But last night the skies were finally clear, and right in front of our hotel is just a wide open plain with very little light pollution, all that, and we were treated to just a beautiful, beautiful spectacle of the Northern Lights. And they went on for such a long time, and they danced and you could see them move, and it was the most incredible thing I have seen in my entire life. An experience that I will never forget. And they were way brighter and way more, like way cooler than I thought they would ever be. So yeah, all that rainy weather we've had for the previous days led up to a nice clear night with just beauty dancing in the sky. It was amazing. So now we got this gorgeous day. Got a lot of sunlight. It's a little bit of a chilly morning, but it's warming up very quick, especially if you're in the sun. And I'm gonna see this. And after that, we're gonna go over to the big glacier out there in the distance, where there's some there's a glacier lagoon with some icebergs floating around it. Check that out, take some photos, and then start heading back west, more towards Reykjavik, to do a bit more sightseeing there. And also because tomorrow is our last full day here in Iceland, and we have just more basic things planned out. has incredible views. At the top, you can see the glacier where the waterfall starts, and then the canyon just rolls out basically into the flat area below, and then the water goes into the ocean. And just wow. You can see birds flying through the canyon. It's so green and saturated, even though it's end of October. It still feels very much alive instead of like you would expect things to be in the fall. So I was very happy to see that, and just an incredible view. After enjoying the beautiful views at the top of this hike, we slowly made our way back down to the car in order to head to our next destination and our final destination on this side of the island, and that was the Diamond Beach and the Glacier Lagoon. We are at the Iceberg Lagoon, or the Glacier Lagoon. What's really cool is this whole thing is filled with icebergs. Just coming off the glacier right there behind me. They're flowing out here. They flow out under that bridge and into the ocean. And that is where the Diamond Beach is. They're getting caught in the current and they wash out there, and then they wash back ashore, creating this has a black beach, little dotted chunks of ice around it. That's where we're gonna go from here to there. Heading out from Diamond Beach, and this place is beautiful, especially because we got this beautiful sunset behind us that lasted forever, and it made it even brighter because the ocean mist is like swooping up on the beach or onto the island. And yeah, these chunks of ice are huge, and the ice here is very clear, which is kind of cool. So yeah, we had some fun. Took some photos on the beach, and now we're just gonna start driving back west. But this is really cool. I'm glad we came by again, even though last time we thought like, no, there's nothing here, there's no ice, maybe it's like a seasonal thing. But nope, not a seasonal thing. They just flow out from the glacier out into the ocean, and then the waves sweep them back in. So it's a really cool spot. It's a very picturesque spot. I could take pictures here as long as the sun is out for hours, especially right now. Look at this light. It's really good. But yeah, really cool stuff. Day 8 in Iceland, and today we're just taking it kind of chill. Came back to the crater that we missed a couple of days ago because it was dark, so now we're just checking out a couple of sites on the Golden Circle that were a little too dark for us to see very well on the first day, so we're kind of backtracking and doing them today. And then, to finish up the trip in a relaxing and chill manner, going to the Sky Lagoon. And I'm gonna see what that is all about. It's not as big or as well known as the Blue Lagoon, because it was opened only in 2021, which, you know, is fairly new. So, but it's just another hot spring, and I thought that it would be a really cool way to kind of wrap up the trip instead of doing something crazy big, adventurous, and doing lots of hiking again. Just to wind down, relax. So, and it's all ready to fly back home tomorrow. Look at this view. After giving the crater one more visit, we headed back towards Reykjavik and enjoyed the Sky Lagoon. This place was the perfect way to end this trip because it was amazing. The water was hot. We did the 7-step ritual where you sit in a hot sauna, and we spent a few hours here just enjoying the beautiful sunset, taking in one last glimpse of that Icelandic sun before we headed back home the next day. Well, good morning everyone. As you can see, this doesn't look much like Iceland anymore. I'm back home in Utah and just doing this to wrap up the vlog. And it was an amazing time. Iceland is a very beautiful country, and I feel like there's still so much more that I want to see. So I would happily go back again maybe in the next few years to explore more of the island parts that I didn't get to see and kind of try to find the less touristy, more just out of the way places there. But overall, it is a fantastic and very unique country with such a unique environment that I have never seen before. So it was a truly awesome experience. Thanks to my friend Kristen for helping me film some stuff and taking some pictures of me while I'm there. It was a lot of fun. So anyways, thank you all for so much for watching. This vlog was probably a bit of a mess because I kind of decided last minute that I want to do it, but I like to go back and watch these things later on because it's kind of fun, and maybe and give an idea to other people that want to visit and see the sights that I saw. Anyways, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in a future video.